Hello, my name is Marissa, and in this video I wanted to give some tips and ideas that I have for more sustainable gift giving. Okay, so the first tip that I have is basically to not buy a gift if you don't actually want to. I think that in a lot of cases people feel like an obligation to buy many people a gift who they don't even consider themselves close to, or like they feel the need to buy a gift even if there's not really the need for that gift to be given. So I think like one thing that's important is to just be intentional with who and why you're gifting things to. Yeah, because basically like, you know, the focus is so much on material things and it doesn't need to be. Otherwise, it's just like a waste of resources and a waste of money if you're buying something that you don't really care about and that the other person most likely doesn't really care about. For me personally, I think that as far as like with the people that who actually matter, like it won't and shouldn't really be a big deal if you don't get them a gift, and like vice versa. I don't really feel like I should be getting gifts during this season, and I know it might be hard to like shift away from that mentality, especially if you've been doing it for many years or it's just like what you're used to. But if it's just like out of habit or out of obligation, honestly, I don't really think that it's worth it, especially if that tends to make the gifts be things that are like not really useful and you don't really use and you don't like, or the other person doesn't like. So if it helps, I would maybe have a conversation with people and say, hey, you know, like this year I'm trying to really be more conscious about my purchases and my gifts, so I'm not really going to be giving gifts to everybody. This is kind of mixed in with another tip, but for the people you are considering, ask them if they even want something. But mainly the first tip is to just be intentional with your gifts and who you're giving them to, and don't feel the need to buy unless you actually want to. Okay, so my second tip is for the people that you actually do want to give gifts to, is to just ask them what they want, what they actually want. So this kind of has like a spectrum to it, because I know some people really like the element of surprise, and I understand that. I tend a little more toward just wanting to know or wanting to tell people what I want because I know that I want it, and I feel like it just causes less fuss that way. But it can go either way. So you can either directly ask them what they want if they know what they want, or ask them for a wish list of things that they know that they want or like or need. And if they're not sure, you can, you know, give them some pointers of what to include in the wish list, like either things that they already use but that they need replaced, things that they do need or want and know that they would use but they just wouldn't really buy for themselves, and brands that they already like or that they have had their eye on, or items that they know that they've been wanting to try or they just might not feel comfortable to actually buy for themselves, so that would be a great opportunity for a gift. So basically it's up to you how direct you want to be with this, but I think the most direct thing is easiest, because you just have something that you know that they want and that you know that they're going to use, and you just can get that for them. Or like I said, you can have them make a list of things that they've been wanting or that they've been needing and go from that list. Along with that, if you have already had ideas of what you have been thinking of getting them, but you know you're not sure, again, up to you how much you want to give away before the actual gift is given, but you can give them a list of the things you were actually thinking of getting them and ask them, okay, are these things going to be something that actually add value to your life, that you're going to use, that you want, and that you're going to enjoy? Or you can give them, be maybe less specific if you need or want to be, and give them like the category and just get their feedback about whether or not those will be gifts that they actually will use and appreciate and like. And then depending on the person, if maybe they don't have specific items but they have categories that they've been wanting, like if they want home decor and they say they want planters or they want vases, or they want clothing items, like they need a winter jacket or they need a new pair of pants, but they're not really sure of the specific one that they want. Ask them for inspiration of things that they've been liking that are in that category. So, you know, maybe see who they follow on Instagram, maybe ask them to show you if they have anything that they've been liking or saving on Instagram or Pinterest, or from any other like media, any inspiration that they have for those categories. And then that way when you're looking for them, you have the idea of what they want in their mind, even though it's not actually a specific item, but you know that you know what they're going for and that they're still going to enjoy it. So the third tip is to plan ahead and research sooner rather than later. So I know that this can be difficult. Life can be busy and a lot of things like gifts can end up being last minute. But if you actually take time to plan ahead and research ahead, then you're more likely to buy something that is going to actually be of value to that person and that they're going to be able to use for years to come. And it also prevents you from, you know, buying from big businesses like Amazon or something like that. And a lot of smaller brands and independent brands, artists and businesses need that extra time to be able to send you items or to, you know, fulfill whatever the item is, or they sell out ahead of time, so you kind of lose the opportunity to shop from as many independent artists and small businesses as possible if you wait till the last minute. So that's why I think that this tip is a valuable tip. I would just maybe like set aside a few hours to dedicate to just planning out who you're gonna buy things for and what you're gonna get, or like when you're gonna go and look for something for them weeks before Christmas. That way you just have it done already, and when you spend the time doing that, like I said, it just makes it more likely that you're gonna actually get something that is more likely to suit the person and serve the person, and makes you less likely to buy from big businesses. And I think it also just prevents stress on you. So yeah. Okay, so my fourth tip is concerning like where to actually get items. So this is probably something that you would expect for me to say in this video, but it's very much true. If you can, shop secondhand, or basically secondhand for presents when applicable. So, you know, check thrift stores, vintage stores, online reselling stores like Depop, Etsy, Poshmark, eBay, and there are a lot of independent vintage sellers who have their own websites and their own shops. Maybe you already follow some on Instagram, or you know that the person you're buying something for follows certain accounts and certain places that do have something that is secondhand that the person would like as a gift. Another option for gifting something secondhand is for you yourself to if you already have things that you know that you were planning to get rid of, sell, or donate, or if you haven't done so already but you think that there might be some items that you have that you either don't use anymore or don't need but can still be useful to somebody, ask that person if any of those things are something that they would want or that they need. Yeah, and I don't think that there should be any shame in anything like that. It's just a good way to find something another home and give it more life if you're not using it anymore or you were planning to get rid of it anyway. So, you know, by doing this, you're giving something a second life and not letting something that is already in existence go to waste. And this is also good because it just makes it more likely for your gift to be more unique and more special. So, you know, this is good for, again, things like home decor or clothing. And again, if you're not really, because if you are going thrifting or shopping secondhand, you can't really necessarily plan the exact item that you're going to purchase. For those categories that it is possible and that the person doesn't have a specific item that they want, but they know like what they're going for, again, just refer to any inspiration that they have for a gift that they want or something that they need, and you can go and look for that online or in person. Okay, so my next tip is to not really buy something, but to actually make the person something, or if you have a certain skill, to offer them that skill, or anything more general, to offer them a favor that you can do for them. So making them something can really range from something that's like more creative to something more practical. And you can just judge it based on the person and their interests and what they like. Or like I said, if you already asked them, you can go from that. So favors could range from something like offering to clean their car, clean their home, cook for them for either like one meal or maybe like regularly for a period of time. Like I said, if you have a skill, you can offer that to them. Okay, so my sixth tip is to buy from a small sustainable business or an independent artist. If there's something that they have been wanting, you can see from existing sustainable brands if they offer something, or of course if that person wants a specific thing from a brand, then that's great. If not, you can see what there is available from certain brands that are sustainable and ask that person if any of those things would be good for them. And then art, I mean, art is just a great gift, I think. But when it comes to art, you know, a lot of people can buy things from like Michael's or Target, which, you know, I know people love to like shop at Target and stuff, but it's just a lot better when you can actually support an independent artist and buy something that is more unique and special. You might even be able to commission something for that person. And then another thing that kind of falls within this category is to buy them a service or an experience, something like a massage or a lesson for something that they've been wanting to learn. I think could be a really great idea. Okay, and then my last tip is to try as much as possible to avoid excess wrapping and packaging. So obviously a lot of people are used to wrapping gifts in wrapping paper or getting bags, and obviously especially the paper, as soon as like someone gets the gift and they unwrap it, that just gets thrown away. At least with the bags, like at least I and a lot of people I know tend to save the bag and reuse the bag, which is good, but that bag still has a limited lifespan. And if it's Christmas themed, they might not want to wait that long to be able to reuse that. So I guess one thing is, if you are going to use a bag, to maybe not use such a specific bag, just use something generic that they can use. But even like beyond that, try to wrap your present, if you need to wrap it in something that they can also use. Depending on the size of the thing, maybe you can wrap it in a handkerchief or a scarf that you either thrifted or that you bought from some independent seller or you already had. And things like scarves and handkerchiefs are usually pretty common to find in thrift stores. Or you can wrap it in like a tea towel, or, you know, basically like something that's fabric that they can reuse some way in their life and continue to use. Or you can get a reusable bag like from Bagoo, or just a canvas bag from somewhere that you already have or that you know that they're gonna like and that they will use again. Use that bag to put their gift in, and then it's kind of like more than one gift in one. Or depending on the person and your feelings about this, you could just not wrap the gift at all and just give it to them. Either, I mean, it depends on if they already knew what the gift was going to be, or if they don't know, you know, just keep it hidden as long as possible if you still want that surprise element, and then just present it to them unwrapped. So lastly, I just have a few ideas of things that you actually can get someone as a gift that are actually specific ideas and not necessarily just broad tips. So the first idea is to give somebody plant cuttings. So if you have a plant and you can just research, or you already know how to take cuttings of it in order for it to propagate, then that would be a great gift to give somebody. And depending on the plant, they can just keep the cuttings in water and it'll leave it like that for a long time, and I'm sure that they'll really like that. Or, you know, they can get the plant, let it propagate, and then maybe like down the line they pot it somewhere. But yeah, that's like a really easy and cheap gift that you can give, but I think it's still a very nice gift. Or if you yourself don't even have plants, but you know somebody who has a plant and you know you're good with that person, and you can just ask them if you would be able to get some cuttings from them, then you can get those cuttings and you can give that as a gift. Another thing too that I was thinking about, which might be kind of weird, but I feel like a lot of businesses have like plants on their exterior or even interior that you might be able to like go and take a little cutting of and give that as a gift, depending on the plant and if it'll actually be able to propagate. Yeah, but I have been to places where, you know, there are plants outside and they're very nice plants, and like I myself have taken cuttings of flowers and stuff when I want like a bouquet, not a bouquet, but when I want flowers in my house and I don't want to buy them. There are lots of places that I could just walk around and just get some flowers from. I wouldn't do it from somebody's yard, but I just feel like, you know, a business where people don't really care about the plants outside, but the business just puts them there for decoration, you might be able to go and get cuttings from that. So just be careful with that one. Obviously, I mean, I've done that before and I've been fine. So my next specific tip is to buy somebody a digital subscription or service. This kind of depends on where you're buying it from. You know, like if you buy them an Amazon Prime membership, that's not really like sustainable. Yeah, so like try to avoid that. But for example, like if they really like music but they don't have Spotify or some other music platform streaming service, you can buy that subscription for them. And I feel like that's a very underrated gift and something that people don't actually really think about that much to gift. But like if I got something like that, like I would be so happy and so surprised. You can also buy them like a digital product. A lot of like artists and businesses have different like digital products and digital downloads for like basically learning something, and if you know that that person's interested in that, then you can purchase that for them. My last tip is to actually give a donation in that person's name. So you can either think of an organization or cause or specific person or mutual aid group that you have given to in the past before, or that person has given to in the past before, or you yourself, or you know that the other person has wanted to give to, or something that you know that they care about. Or of course you can ask them for specific causes, organizations, and funds that you know that they care about and that they would want to make a donation to, and then you can make that donation in their name. And that's a good idea because it's just giving directly to something that is important and that you or the other person, both of you, care about. Okay, so those are all of my tips and the few ideas that I had for gifts and gift giving to make it more sustainable and reduce your waste, and kind of, you know, just take your thinking about gift giving in a different direction and away from like just buying to buy for the sake of buying. By doing this, you're also going to end up just giving a better gift because it's something that has more thought and intention behind it, and something that is hopefully more likely to really serve that person and provide them, you know, whatever you want to provide them through that gift, be it happiness or practicality. Yeah, I hope that these tips were helpful and these ideas were maybe ideas that you'll use, or just at least could give you some inspiration. But if you have any other tips or ideas, please share them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.